Hello, Denimheads, and welcome to the Sons of Selvedge Podcast. This is a super exciting episode we've got for you today. This is our 50th episode. It's crazy to think that we've been doing this podcast for probably 5 or 6 years now and have achieved 50 episodes. So super cool. And since we haven't done a hangout with the founders in a while, we thought we would do that today. So basically just like each of us update you all on what we're up to and kind of like what's been happening in our lives and just kind of see where the conversation takes us. So I'm David, and today I'm actually wearing my first sample shirt from my brand I'm building out called DG Pattern. It's like a super minimalist Western shirt with like kind of hidden welt pockets inside the chest and like super minimal angular details. And I've even got like an asymmetric cuff, like a kind of a honky tonk style shirt with it's a few things like that, and then hopefully I get some snaps on it this week and can take it with me on some travels.
Amazing. Illya here. I'm wearing a Gleam hoodie, and the rest of the kit is PJs. So nothing more to report.
What's the hoodie brand? I don't know it.
It's a very. I actually don't know the brand too well, or I haven't had any instances of it come up. It's called Gleam. I bought it on eBay from a guy that I buy quite a few bits from over the years, so I kind of know he's a kind of a trusted seller, and yeah, it just came up, and it's the only hoodie I have, and it's like super soft. Yeah, really nice cut, not too long. Yeah, just really nice kind of mild grey. Yeah,
Is it modern or vintage?
it's a modern one. It's a repro brand, like it's
Okay,
a but yeah, and it's spelled Gleam, Gleam.
cool.
Yeah.
Your beard's looking bigger than normal.
Yeah, it's coming back out. It's coming back out. I had a trim about I think January, so yeah, it's kind of it needs another one. It needs another one.
How often do you trim it normally?
It varies, but yeah, when I start to feel, I go through different kind of levels because I let it grow out long, and then I cut the sides, just trim the sides a little bit to keep it a little bit more controlled up here.
Hmm.
So maybe I don't know, maybe every 3 months, every 4 months. Yeah. And then
Nice.
when it comes to summer, I try to keep it a little bit cleaner.
We
Yeah.
should
Yeah,
just
I've
like
also
plan a founders hangout every time you schedule your beard trim, like
That's
3 to 4 months.
uh,
my beard's trimming routine is whenever my beard gets too long to eat jam. If I start getting jam in my moustache, I have to trim it. So it's horrible.
yeah, yeah.
smart. You don't want that jam to get stuck there, eh? And I'm walking around with it the whole day
Yeah, no
without
one wants
knowing.
that. No one
No.
wants a jammy beard. So
All right, I think
Kevin?
I'm up next. Yes. Hey everyone, Kevin here. It's been a while. I haven't been on the pod for a little while, so apologies for that. Today I'm wearing a Whitesville tee and a Portuguese flannel corduroy shirt or overshirt, quite a thick one. So it's quite cold and windy still here in Copenhagen, so it kept me nice and warm today. Um, yeah.
Nice.
hi everyone, Lex here. I've also got a Whitesville t-shirt on, vintage Levi's Type 3, and a Patagonia fleece because it's also cold here in London, and I've got a pint of Guinness as well. So
Oh, nice.
hello, happy
Cheers.
birthday to the podcast.
I've been on a
Yes.
bit of I've been on a bit of an NA beer uh, exploration recently, and like 0% Guinness is awesome. It's like totally like you're drinking the real deal and like no hangover. Like I'm such a fan.
Yeah.
Well, I've got the
Mm.
new. I don't know if you've seen these nitro pour things.
Mhm.
Have you seen?
Are they
No.
worth it?
Highly. Hmm?
Are they worth
It's a
it?
little kind of thing you put on top of. You need to buy
No, I've
specially.
seen it, but do you think it's worth it?
Yeah, they like it seems to put like a proper pint of Guinness. So
Okay.
I'm not enough of a Guinness expert to know how much better it is. So, like
Okay.
I've not done a tasting on a normal can, but it's Seems pretty good to me. So
The
Well, I haven't seen that in
the
America. So is it like a nitrogen thing that like clicks on your can?
Yeah.
you can't get them in America apparently.
Hmm.
It's Europe only, but yeah, it's like a thing. You need to buy special cans and a little kind of cap, and you click it on, and then Guinness. And I don't know what it does. If you look on the website, they use lots of words that sound like science.
Are you a lost?
I think you might be getting scammed actually, because like when you buy a regular Guinness, it's got the little nitrogen capsule in it. So like you're getting the nitrogen anyways. And with this thing, they're like taking your nitrogen out of your can and they're charging you for like another thing to put it back in. So I think you're getting scammed.
Pretty much, yeah.
But you want a good Guinness, right?
I'll tell you what, but between now and the next podcast, I will do a taste test of a regular can of Guinness compared to a nitrous-soaked can of Guinness, and I'll let you know.
I think that should be a blind test. Maybe you should do a blind test on the pod.
On the pod, yeah.
On the pod, yeah.
We can do a 5x1 review on the YouTube channel of Guinness nitrogen thingy.
But the real question is, can you split the G? Oh, you've already taken a sip. There you go. You lost it.
No, yeah. I mean, I can, but maybe not this time on a Sunday evening. It's probably not wise. Basically, a third of a pint of Guinness in one go.
All right. Next time.
Next time, Ricky.
Yeah, right. Well, hi everyone. The past 2 minutes just went over my head because I'm a teetotaler, so no alcohol. I have a water bottle next to me. That's it. Yeah, it's been a while as well. I think last time I was on the podcast, Kevin, you were still in Australia, maybe.
Yeah, right.
Something like that. But yeah, it's been quite a long time since I've been on lately, and it's just work and scheduling has been a bit tricky. But yeah, other than that, not much going on. Just work, prepping now because I'm flying to the States for work.
Nice.
So that'll be this week. So I'll probably catch you guys in the next podcast, but via Miami.
Well, I know I've said it in previous years, but if you can find some way to sneak away, Inspirations this weekend coming up. So see if you can like do a cross country trip and then fly back and no one notice it.
I wish that would be actually really, really cool. Yeah, but it's not going to be this year for sure, man.
Fair enough.
So.
You looking forward to it, David?
Yeah, be good. I guess maybe I'll kind of like go into kind of like discussion topic or like, what we've been up to, and talk about inspiration a bit. So yeah, I'm flying out there on Thursday. It's gonna be super cool. We're kind of like getting a bit of a yearly community going. So like Jake, Almost Vintage Style, is gonna be there again. Like he's been there the past couple years and hung out with them. Nick Denimscapes from Seattle. Seattle area. He's flying down. And Leather Jacket John, he's flying over from Philly. So like me, Nick, and John are gonna get an Airbnb in Pasadena and hang out. And then Mike, big dude in denim's, coming over. He's local. Dude named Marcus from San Diego, Marcos Raymontes from San Diego, and his buddy are coming up. So it's gonna be kind of a pretty cool crew. And then I've decided to kind of organize like a unofficial meetup on Thursday evening.
Nice.
And yeah, so we're gonna all like meet up Thursday when everyone gets in town, kind of like hit up Mr. Freedom, hit up a couple of shops, maybe go see Brian the Bootmaker. And then Thursday evening, we've got like a unofficial hangout, let's call it, or like a London meetup kind of thing at a brewery in Highland Park called Highland Park Brewery. And like Mosin from Endrime and Corey, Bandit Photographer, like invited them to come by, and just kind of anyone I know, like Amy Denim dudes that is in the area. And even like Carl from RGT and a few other people. I was like kind of pinging everybody and saying, hey, if you're around, come. And most people are like too busy. But I think it should be cool. We'll have like a hangout Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday is the actual like vintage fair. It's pretty small. You can see the whole thing in like an hour or two, if I'm honest, like a survey. And then like we end up just kind of hanging out and just talking to people, standing at stalls, shooting the shit. Like, OU Fukaten, they'll be over with their booth every year. And this year they're doing like some kind of like made to order event where you can like order a bunch of stuff from their back catalog. And then Friday night, there's always a big party at Free Note Cloth. So they've got their shop in Highland Park and everyone shows up there and they've got like bands playing and drinks pouring. And then Saturday night, there's a big party at Double RL. And I think Mosin and Corey will be there signing copies of their book about Corey's workwear collection. And then Sunday is the Rose Bowl where everyone kind of goes, just vintage shops together. But I'll be on an airplane on Sunday morning to Singapore for like a big trip with my dad.
Amazing.
Yeah, so if anyone's keen to hang out in LA, hit me up. We'll be there. We'll be at Highland Park Brewery on Thursday night, and then open invite for everyone. So yeah, that's kind of me on inspiration. Maybe Andy, if you just want to say what's up, intro yourself, and then we're just kind of starting to do a roundtable of like what you've been up to, interesting things to talk about. So maybe if you want to jump in next.
Interesting things that I've been up to. Lots of work. Getting absolutely hammered with work. It's been about it really. My kids just turned 6, which was awesome.
How was the party?
That was awesome. His party was awesome. It was just a load of kids throwing themselves around crash mats for like an hour and a half.
Nice.
It was great. Picked up a couple of items recently. Which is cool. So like this, which I'm wearing out, which is an Emoto 5.5 ounce chambray, which my wife got me, which is a looser fit than I kind of would have expected off a Japanese brand. But it got pointed out to me that Emoto have quite a few European and Western staff, so they've kind of adapted their sizing to take that take them into account more. So this is quite a looser, more maybe traditional workwear fit than what you kind of expect. But actually, that's actually quite nice to kind of have something that's looser to wear. But yeah, this is the first time I've actually worn it for longer than like just an initial try on, and it's a great bit of kit. It's got some really nice little features as well. So like I don't know if you can see. Don't worry, I've got a t-shirt underneath. But wherever the buttons are, they've got this like reinforced white. They've reinforced it with like a white herringbone fabric, which is quite cool. And they've got that on the pockets as well. And then I also picked up I found one secondhand, the Tanner Goods Wilderness rucksack.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, which is here. I got the 14 ounce salt and pepper one they did, nice. Which was like a short run. Market had a couple available. They had that and then in like a waxed, like a waxed brown. But I went for that because I've always had a thing for salt and pepper. So
is it like a dead stock fabric or a modern fabric?
I'm not quite sure because they did this a while ago. I'll have to check. I think it might be like an accurate repro of the old fabric because I've got an old Swiss Army rucksack in salt and pepper, and it feels like it's a thicker canvas than the older ones.
I think it's a repro.
Yeah, I mean that's like a 14 ounce canvas, and I think that the one on my other one is considerably thicker and harder. But I mean, it's a great rucksack. Again, I've only worn it, used it a couple of times, but it does exactly what I need it to, and it's better than walking around with an old, falling apart rucksack that I used to use when I was in the military. So
yeah, that guy's been around for a long time. You must have had that 5-10 years ago.
What? The 511. The Swiss one. Yeah, I bought the Swiss one, but I ended up not using it that much because the leather on the straps just wore and fell apart very quickly.
Cool. And Illya, maybe what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I guess Blackwell Lane's keeping me busy for the last bit of while, so I'm doing that 4 days a week. So that keeps me honest most of the time. Outside of that, I guess the kind of the more interesting bits that I've been doing is a few jobs for John Lofgren. So I did a shoot in London at the beginning of the year, and then in February did one in Milan, which John and his team came over to Milan for the leather fair, and used that as an opportunity to do a shoot. And I kind of got my buddy Mirko 1932, who's a leather craftsman, bag maker, belt maker, and has his own little brand just outside of Milan. So I kind of teamed up with him to both kind of use him as a model and to help shoot the project, which was really exciting because we got to see the kind of the new styles that they're just been actually dropping this week. They've kind of I think the team have been posting quite a lot about them, so you might have seen some of the bits that have come out, including a really nice new engineer boot, which they're calling the Rail Master, which is based on the 1940s silhouette, which will be coming out in January 2027. Only in Shinky this time, black Shinky. That'll be the only colorway. As a introducing it, just one boot. So yeah, that's been exciting, and part of that kind of discussion and that kind of the relationship is that we're going to be stocking them at Blackwell Lane as well. So that's
very nice.
quite an exciting kind of news that's coming kind of out of that. So yeah, that's been a fun one to work on.
Yeah, and that's worth a double click, right? Because that basically means it's the first time you'll be able to buy John Lofgren like in person in London, right?
Yes, exactly. So I think that was, apart from me being a big fan of the brand for the last, I don't know how many years we've been wearing. Andy, we bought the boots probably at the same time.
We got a Donkey Punches, yeah, because I got the stock black ones from. Oh, did I buy them from?
You bought them at the Eastman pop-up.
Yeah, I got them through Eastman, yeah, and then you did the MTO with Standard and Strange, didn't you?
Well, shortly after that, I came across a pair of Natty Engineers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was 2018, maybe earlier. That was
I bought them when I started working at the company I'm working at now, I think.
Yeah.
Or like in the time between me leaving my last company and then. So that was like 2019. I think I bought mine. So mine getting 7 years old.
Yeah. So I think, having been kind of into the brand since then, and it's been a long time coming, and I think not having a place to try John Lofgren in the UK, and now there are going to be more stockists, so it's not going to be just us. But in terms of London, we will be the place to come and be able to try some of the styles. So yeah, I think that is exciting.
Yeah, that's super cool. And that new engineer, do you know if it's on the same last as the Wabash, or is it like a sleeker last?
It's a different fit. I don't know exactly the last that they will be using, but it definitely had a different fit. Than it was definitely more fitted.
Yeah.
It was also a bit tricky for me because it wasn't my size. It was like a half size smaller than what I'd probably go for. It was made for John, so it was his size. But yeah, just in terms of what I could tell, it fit around the ankle a lot more snug And yeah, it was. I think that's the kind of the best way to describe it. For me, the Lofgren Engineer had a little bit more space at the back, and my foot. I think I've said this before, but my foot would slide down in the
Yep.
Wabash kind of loss. But this one, it felt like it was like sitting nicer. But again, that's more about fit, and it's just depending on what your fit is like.
Cool. Yeah, I look forward to seeing them in person. I'm assuming at
Yeah.
some point. Although no one in Austin sells them, but at some shop in the States, hopefully eventually get to see them.
Yeah,
They look
yeah.
cool.
I wanted to ask you, Illya. I know a little while ago you asked us about if anyone had experience with flower mountains,
Yes.
and I'm pretty sure I saw a video of you this week wearing some flower mountains. Is that correct?
No, that's my pair of New
Ah,
Balance. That's my pair of New Balance, which I've had since I think 2019. So I still haven't jumped
right.
on. I still haven't jumped on a pair, but I am kind of still really tempted by a pair. And
Yeah,
there's
okay.
been some really nice new colorways that I saw coming out. So yeah,
That's the
Yeah,
thing about
definitely.
flower. They have so much variety on. Even if you go on their website, they have so many different like models, and with it, well, like I would say like 4 or 5 models, but then within those models, you have so many different options. And then what the
yeah,
website carries is not what necessarily other shops carry, which is also
Mm,
interesting to look at because I think they do specific models for different shops. I have 2 pairs. I recently got a leather, kind of like a new book leather kind of thing going on. They're all tan. I went the opposite way of what people normally go for flower mountains
hmm,
because of all the colors and stuff. So mine is just one color through. But yeah, they're really nice, super comfortable.
nice.
Where are they made? Is it like a Japanese brand or somewhere else?
Japanese brand, but my 2 pairs are made in China.
Yeah, I think it's a Japanese designer with a Chinese manufacturer, if I'm correct. Like the two owners are Japanese and Chinese, from what I
Cool.
read back then. Yeah,
yeah. I don't think
cool.
there's any. I'm not sure if there's any actually infrastructure of like sneaker making. I don't know how many sneaker makers there are in Japan. I think that's all been kind
Yeah,
of taken over in China, Taiwan, and kind of the surrounding
Were not Bill
countries.
Caborn sneakers made in Japan though?
The only ones that you have are the Moonstar, but it's kind of a
mm,
slightly different construction. It's a different kind of method of making.
What about shoes like pottery? Aren't they Japan as well?
They're also
That's
Moonstar.
Moonstar as
Okay, that
well.
makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense then. Yeah.
yeah, and even Moonstar have a line of kind of sub brand of sneakers that they make, which are not made in Japan. So I think there might be just like I said, might be an infrastructure kind of thing.
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Moonstar did these super rad shoes for Arpenteur where they like almost did like a skate silhouette. And these are like an Aventile cotton. They're like super, super cool. But unfortunately, these are like a size too big. So I got to sell them on. But like the stuff that Moonstar did with Arpenteur is like totally, totally cool sneaker design wise. Cool. Kevin,
Nice.
what are you up to?
Yeah, so since last time I was on, I guess a lot has happened in life, but the main thing is that we were traveling again. I know I talk about traveling quite a bit on here because I always seem to be traveling. It's not always, but yeah, we spent a month down under in Australia, um, visiting the old neighborhood again, which was amazing. We had a wedding down there of some really good friends of ours, which was yeah, just an awesome event to attend. Totally worth flying to the other side of the world for, and just seeing all of our good friends over there. which was awesome. And then we had a little holiday within the holiday, spent a couple of days in Fiji, which was super relaxing. Which was just really nice. The Fijians are one of the most beautiful people in the world, I think. Just like so friendly, super like onto kids. Like they knew our daughter's name from like the first day. And they didn't even really ask our names afterwards anymore. All they cared about was the kid, which was awesome. So they kept her entertained, which was nice. So that's sort of the main thing that I've been up to. For the wedding as well, I bought some new shoes because I didn't really have any dress up shoes anymore. So I bought some loafers from Regal Shoe Co. Japanese brand, with some Gore-Tex lining on the inside. So they've been very nice. Easy to walk on for a pair of loafers. So definitely a good buy.
Nice. Any kind of like favorite event or favorite spot when you're in Sydney and also in Fiji?
Any favorite spot? I mean, the beaches in Sydney are always epic. The last weekend we were there was a huge swell, like a swell I hadn't seen in like 150 years or so. So it was like 3-4 meter tall waves at like the famous Bondi Beach and all the other smaller beaches. So that was really cool to see because no one, like even the people that were up there, hadn't seen any waves like that in Sydney. So that was really cool. But it meant the beaches were closed, which was a bit unfortunate, but because that was the only sort of weekend we could visit the beaches. But it was still cool to see. So, if and when you're in Sydney, definitely go and visit the beaches. I mean, Bondi is nice. You got to see it if you've never been there, but there's nicer beaches a bit further down south, like Coogee or Bronte Beach, just a little bit more chill. And the thing that I didn't really realize that we missed a lot is breakfast. Like the Aussies love a breakfast, and they do breakfast really well, and coffee as well. Like I adjusted to the coffee quality here, also my coffee at home. But like the coffee there is just on a next level. It's insane. You can go anywhere. Like it doesn't matter which coffee shop you go to, the barista is good and makes good coffee. And that definitely is not the case here in Copenhagen, as we discovered again today. Yeah.
Really?
See, I thought with like counterculture or whatever they're called, that was like this like world famous coffee spot in Copenhagen.
I mean, there is a few spots in Copenhagen that are very good. I think there's 3 or 4 that have sort of like the baristas have won like the world championship or whatever you call it, the world barista. I know April Coffee has won it recently, but like their world champion coffee costs like, I don't know, 25 euros for a cup. So it's like, I'm not sure if it's worth that, but so you can get good coffee in Copenhagen, don't get me wrong, but it's like in Australia, you can walk into any coffee shop, and I mean almost any coffee shop, and you get good quality coffee, and you don't have that here. Like it's, I don't know, it's just a different culture, and we definitely miss that. You don't realize it, but then once you have it again, you're like, oh yeah, I wish I could just walk out of the door and just go and grab a really good quality coffee.
You have good bread and good pastry.
Yes, we do have very good pastry. Yes, so I'll get fat instead of being caffeinated and awake.
But then, I mean, surely not everyone's just running around eating Danishes all the time in Denmark in the same way in Portugal.
Well,
not everyone's running around with stay at Sonata, right?
I would totally do that.
There is actually around. We have this thing called basically around Carnival time. So we have Carnival here in Northern Europe too. And there is this sort of tradition here in Denmark. They bake these Danish pastries with like a cream filling. That's sort of like the old style, but now all of the bakeries have created these like fancy new versions of it. And around the time that stuff is happening, there is like a pastry run. I think it's a half marathon where you run past 10 bakeries and you get a bun pastry at every bakery. So, that's very Danish. Yeah, basically.
The run and shove.
In America, they've got a cycle race called Tour de Donut, and it's basically riding on your bike, and you have to stop I think it's about 50 miles, every 10 miles, and eat as many donuts as you can. So it's a race how quick you can cycle on your bike, but also you save time for the more donuts you eat during that period.
When I was in San Francisco, some people started doing this like 5K race from like one Taco Bell to another Taco Bell, and you had to like get tacos at each endpoint. But and if you've been to Taco Bell, they're like horrible. Not horrible, but they're like pretty. They're like McDonald's tacos, right? And like it's not the kind of thing you eat when you're running.
Nope. So yeah, that's me.
Cool, Lex. What you been up to?
I mean, it's been as per usual. Every time we come on this, and I feel like I've not done much, even though it's been ages. But I've been doing quite a bit of work in the studio recently. So last weekend, Tom, who's not with us today, had a little pop-up down in southwest London with United Overalls and a few other brands. Who was that? Illya and Ricky were down there as well. So there's Tom.
You had Malix.
Ernest Walker.
Yeah.
Who else?
Sierra and South.
Sierra and South. Yeah.
Sierra and South, of course.
Cali Creme.
Cali Creme, and a couple of brands that I didn't recognise. But yeah, they did a nice little pop up there. So I made a few aprons for Tom, which was quite fun. So just a few more United Overall aprons using the last of the Hewitt Heritage fabrics that I had. So yeah, did that. What else? I've been doing my usual bit of darning. I've got a bit of session. Knocking stuff over. Bits of sheet work I've been doing in the studio.
Nice.
Very nice.
Super cool.
And then I've also got, which I can't really show you because it's for our friend Ed from Darte, London, because he's got a launch at some point, so I'm not entirely sure of the details. So I'm going to show you his logo. It's a nice little patch that he put on. We'll be making him a waistcoat basically for that, which I think is going to be unveiled at his launch, so I can't officially show you it now, but that's been quite a fun project. Sewing lots of pockets on it for him. So it's all been military inspired, kind of like lined wadded waistcoat, which took forever to sew, but it's been quite a fun little project. Yes, that's been about it really. Just lots of making. It's been quite nice to actually use the studio and actually get, use it for what it's meant for and actually make stuff rather than just kind of sitting in here. Most of the time I end up doing like the day job, marking portfolios and interviewing students and boring stuff like that. So actually to use it to what it's designed for making has been quite nice. So that's been me.
Good work.
How do you go about finding jobs to make things normally?
I don't that much, just because I obviously work full time at London College of Fashion, so I don't really have time to take on too many other projects. But so it's normally people approaching me, but it's just Tom wanted a few aprons done for this pop up, so I said I made a few for him a couple of years ago, so I said I think I made 6 more for him. But they were quite easy. But then it's the Easter break, so I've had time to make this as I said, this like kind of like waistcoat thing for Ed, which will be unveiled in a couple of weeks' time. But that took forever. But I've not been working, so it's fine. A bit of time making stuff. Yeah, that's been me really. That's been about it.
What about you, Ricky? Anything you want to share?
Well, like Lex mentioned, we were down at the pop up last weekend, and then this weekend, Illya and I, well, yesterday, Illya and I went out east to Illya. Sorry, remind me the name of the place.
Hang Up
Something on Crouch.
Vintage.
Yeah, but where was this?
Burnham on Crouch, and the shop was Hang Up Vintage.
Yeah, Hang Up Vintage. So we went out there. Nice little shop owned by Ben, and yeah, it was just fun times, just hanging. We've met up with Callie as well, and Ed. Jesus, yeah, yeah. It was fun. Just cool hang. Now I was looking over there at my rack, and I can't remember the last time I was on, but I'm pretty sure that I didn't own my uh, Type 2 Black Horse Lane made to order jacket, which turned out really, really nice. I'm really happy with that. So thanks to Illya. Definitely recommend anyone.
Was that like a black denim? Is that right?
Yeah. So it's a black 11 ounce, Illya? Something like that.
I think it was more like 13 ounce.
13?
It's
I was going to say
13 ounce,
13
yeah.
first, but then I was like, it feels lighter than that.
Yeah. No,
But
no,
yeah,
it's
13
it's between 13 and 14.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, 11 might be too light, to be honest.
yeah.
So yeah, Japanese black denim with there's some corduroy under the collar and on the inside. Yeah, it turned out really nice. So I was super happy with that.
And in terms of the MTO experience, like what did you get to pick versus kind of like what was or like yeah, like what could you play around with versus not?
Well, at the time, I remember telling Illya that I wanted a all black Type 2 denim jacket because I really haven't seen many out there, and so I just wanted it with no flaps on the pockets. And then while I think it was already in production when I kind of mentioned it would be cool to have kind of like a corduroy going under the collar, attached to it, going under the collar. And yeah, it turned out great. I mean, it was pretty straightforward, wasn't it, Illya? There wasn't much discussion around it. I remember.
No. You kind of had a fair idea of what you wanted to do, so it was just
Yeah.
the corduroy on the pocket on the did we do it on the inner pockets and under the collar. Yeah. So
Yeah.
otherwise we just kind of kept it pretty similar, and then the only other addition that we did was Lily cropped it for you after the fact that we were making it. So yeah.
So this was the I would say kind of like the highlight of going through that experience of the MTO thing, which was when the jacket was done, I tried it on and it came out a little bit longer than expected, basically because it's based on a linen jacket, which is due to the material of the fabric, it just comes up a little bit easier. So when the denim jacket was put into production, it came out as it would normally be the size of the linen originally, but denim doesn't, come up as easy as linen. So it was a bit on the long side, but Lily was great. She just literally while I was talking to her, she sketched it out, measured me, and yeah, it was super super cool. So definitely advise anyone who is into either a pair of jeans or jacket or anything like that, if you have the chance to go by Black Horse Lane, swing by or pop them a message. It's really nice to have at least your own custom piece, if you will. But yeah, absolutely pleased with it. Really cool.
And Illya, is that something Black Horse Lane is doing with regularity, or is it kind of like a special case to do some MTO? Or
we do it from time to time. Yeah, every week somebody will like come in and like they'll most of the time it's because somebody wants to have like a longer inseam, or the other reason would be is if they want a specific denim in a certain cut that we might not have, in production. So somebody might want to have a black, denim in our straight fit, which we might not have at that time. So that's kind of what the MTO normally is used for. But every now and again, someone like Ricky will come and say, like, I want, these kind of details. And yeah, there's some we try to be as accommodating as we can, and if we're not changing too much, then it can remain as a MTO. But if people want, a little bit more room, and especially if they're actually changing the dimensions or the fit of a garment, then that kind of slides into the made to measure service.
Yeah, and I guess maybe this is kind of like not necessarily a true assumption, but like it seems like pretty much anyone who's craft scale and has their own factory often offers this type of service. Like I know when I visited Schaefer Garment Hotel in LA,
Mm-hmm.
like there's Jean Workshop is like literally above their retail store. So they're like, yeah, man, whatever you want to change, just tell us and we'll sew up your pair as you like modified as you need fit. Obviously not made to measure, but like tweaked to a garment as appropriate. And I think Lex, if I remember correctly, when we talked to Matthias the other day, I think he was saying that in his workshop too, they also can do like MTO style modifications to stuff in their range.
Yeah, I think he used to do a little bit of that, didn't he? Which is kind of a good use of his little factory, his little setup he had.
Yeah. It seems like if you've got like your own workshop, then that's often on the table, which is super rad.
Well, the thing is, if you are a maker with a factory brand and you have that ability to be able to do those things, business is tough for everyone. And if you can make an extra sale, if you can get an extra customer, if you're able to offer something a little bit different, then it's like, why not do that? And I think, it can be easy to say no, but also like if you are a brand who's especially, community driven, you need to be able to be flexible in those kind of times, because, in London, it's so competitive. You can go to so many other different brands and shops that for us, it does cost more to do an MTO. And even though, okay, we're charging for that extra, but still, sometimes you're not necessarily making, extra profit on that or anything. So, yeah.
I mean,
It's funny. I was listening to a TED Talk today called "The Paradox of Choice" by Barry Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like in the context of like psychological stuff, and is basically talking about how, today there's like so many options for things when you buy them that it's like you get into analysis paralysis and like don't know what to do. And he was using jeans as his metaphor for like explaining this in a commercial context. He's like, I remember back when you used to just buy a pair of jeans and there was one choice. They didn't fit. They weren't comfortable. They were horrible for like a year, and then they were amazing. And then like now he goes into this shop. He's like, I want to buy the same jeans. And they're like, well, we've got this cut, that cut, this fabric, that fabric. He's like, I don't know. I just want the horrible ones that are going to be great in a year. I was like, yeah, raw denim. There we go.
Yeah,
Cool. Maybe looping back around. Oh, go ahead, Ricky. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, from the customer's perspective, when you step into an MTO, I think it's almost like this point of excitement, because you realize that you're actually putting what you had in your head, kind of like, especially if you tend to be a bit more of a creative person, you have all these ideas and stuff like that. But once you see it then come to fruition, and then you realize, oh, this is like really cool, because it's that fulfillment of like, it's my unique piece kind of thing. And for the extra that Illya was saying of the cost, I think it's way worth it. But that's because I value that creative side a lot. So And I think that everyone who's kind of like within the slow wear movement, I think appreciates their uniqueness of each garment. So this is also kind of like going in that direction of like, if you have a chance, you have that possibility of taking an idea that you have and, you know, basing it off of a garment that might be in existence, in this case from Black Horse Lane, and then you feel like, oh, I wish I could tweak this or tweak that, and then yeah, and it's really really accessible, and folks at Black Horse Lane just knocked it out of the park. So yeah.
And I can't say enough about like having your own sewing machine and doing your own modifications at home as well. Like I've been using my mom's old 70s Singer. It's like called a Singer Diana. Like I use it to sew this shirt, but also like I've got some Orslo New Yorker pants that are like just that little bit too short. And I'm like, screw it. I'm going to seam rip them, pull out the cuff, lengthen them, resew them. I just love that idea of like, I have agency to like change something at home if it's not quite right. Feels like more and more people should have like a simple sewing machine and like some basic knowledge, and it would help a lot.
Especially
For sure.
like if you're tweaking sizes and stuff like that, right? Like you're just taking a little bit on the waist or a little bit under the armpit or whatever. Speaking of sizes, this is our segue to you, David.
Yeah, I'll definitely talk about it. But I want to be fair and kind of like respect the alpha sort and give Andy a chance to jump in if he wants to chat about anything first.
Jesus.
So I've got a lot to riff on. So
yeah, sorry, I just out there. I was thinking,
Come on, Alpha.
It's because I'm working tomorrow, mate. So I'm thinking about that.
In fairness, it's like 10 p.m. for you, so I understand.
Yeah, and I've got bank holiday cover tomorrow, which is great fun. I literally was thinking about something, and then it's just poured out my ears.
Well, I'll jump in, and then like when go after me again, and like hopefully it gives you time to remember what it was.
It's not going to come back, mate. Let's just admit I'm 40. Okay. My memory is
Write
shot.
it down if it does. Just okay.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I guess maybe looping back around then. So I decided to take a career break, which I've never done in 20 years of work. So like I finished college in 2005 and pretty much started my job right away and just have worked for 20 years straight. So I packed up my stuff, moved out of my apartment in San Francisco, left my job, moved back to Austin where all of my family's at. So like parents, siblings, nieces, nephews, like my whole extended family's here in Austin. And I've just been using 6 months to kind of like catch up on passion projects and explore new ideas, learn new skills. And a lot of things have come out of that. So one is I did a 2-week trip to Mexico, which was amazing. So I went to Oaxaca for a week and like just like jumped in on food and mezcal and like ate all the best food I could possibly think of. And then a second week in Mexico City and just went like crazy going to like every taqueria humanly possible. And also was surprised to see how different Mexico City style taquerias are from like American style taquerias. Even Austin, which is like taco capital of the US, it's like they're still very, very different. And then came back and one thing I've been doing is like developing DG Pattern, which is this brand I want to launch at some point. So I've like got this, I call it the post-Western shirt. And I'm like working on some other concepts that are still in like the design phase. So I might do like a pre-order for this shirt, or like, maybe I'll just sew a couple for friends and to get the grading right. And then once, maybe at some point it becomes a brand. And I've got an Instagram, DG Pattern, if folks want to follow it. And then the other big thing I've been doing is I was working in AI before I took my career break. So I've been really exploring like what you can do with AI and technology. And I've got like a few different projects I'm building, like a music project, but to enter this contest, I came up with this idea of size up. So I know I've got this like spreadsheet where I like track all of my garment sizes, right? So like shoulder, chest, arm length, center back, front, like cuff to bottom, and so all these metrics to like know what size is the right size when I want to buy a garment. And also with like shoes are a lot more ambiguous on how to size them, but it's like I've got like which shoe, which brand, what size, what last in like a spreadsheet. And it's like, okay, how can I build a tool that like helps people more effectively get the right size? So maybe I'll even do a little screen share because I've got it open. Let's see here.
Do it.
Boom. Boom. Yeah. So I built Size Up, and I built this in like 2 weeks. So obviously it's like branded Sons of Selvage, and it's like, hey, build out a digital wardrobe of like the stuff you have in your closet that fit you well, like your favorite shirt, your favorite jeans, your favorite shoes, and then like add your measurements from like your own person, right? Your height, your weight, and then get like recommendations when you're shopping something. So I've been kind of goofing around with this a bit and just kind of adding little features and playing around with it. But you'll see here I've got some of my favorite garments in here. So I've got like my 9 Lives single rider. And I've got like, the different measurements I've taken off of it. And I've got like the Studio d'Artisan Kurozome shirt, which, is the gift you guys got for me when I moved. Like, still my favorite shirt. All the dimensions off of that. My OA 01 jeans, and like whether they've been like stretched out from where, and like what's the tag size versus like, the fit. Like I kind of talk about the fit notes. Did my app just crash? No, it didn't crash. Okay, sorry. And then like my favorite shoes. So like my Viberg service boots, 10.5, they run 1 full size, etc. And so I'll also have like my body stuff. So like my height, my weight, my physical measurements, and then like either like foot size and length and width, or like the Brannick version of it. And then basically I can go in here to like a size advisor. So let's go to Blue Owl, and just grab something. Let's grab this Kakashibu jacket. I can be like, boom, I'm stoked in this jacket. Sorry, I'd like it to fit a bit loose. And so then Size Up basically goes through the stuff in my wardrobe and my body measurements and the sizing information like on the product page, and like what it knows about, raw denim and shrinkage and stretching, or like, shoe last. Like basically it just kind of like uses all the knowledge on the internet to like say, okay, cool. Like this is the size I think you should take. And this is why I think this is the right size for you. It's a little bit slow because I'm still building it and it's not super speedy, but it'll give me a recommendation here in a second.
Does it look at?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Does it look at the measurements across other sites as well, or does it just look at the measurements given on this site that you've provided?
Yeah, so it's supposed to look like at the product page I've given it specifically and kind of focus on that, but it's welcome to use anything on the internet to like know whatever knowledge it needs to arrive at its recommendation. So it's like, here's like high confidence, you want a 42, and it even goes into like the rationale. So it's like, hey, based upon your body, like this is what I'm thinking about, or like based upon your leather jacket, this is what I'm thinking about, but this is cotton versus leather. So like I'm working out the differences. And then it's like, shoulder is the deciding lock, which is interesting because for me, shoulder is always what I have to size for more than chest, and sleeve length. So like it knows what's going to help me. And then I can even like, it even thinks about shrinkage and like what it knows about the fabric. And then lastly, for any given advice I've received on a garment, I can like continue into like a conversation to like deep dive. Like, well, actually, like I'm a bit nervous that the inseam's too short on this one. Okay, well in that case, you might consider this, but then it might be too big in the waist. Like it's just kind of like basically having a chat with an agent to like get the right size I want. And then the other cool thing too is I've recently added it so you can just like add stuff from the internet right to your wardrobe. So like, hey, I've already got that Kakashibu jacket in 42. Put it in my wardrobe. Boom, it'll just show up. And like it's got like CM for you Europeans, although I'm not sure why it's not clicking. But anyways, this is pretty cool. I've like built this in like 2 weeks. So having a lot of fun seeing what I can do with like AI and technology. And I'm going to launch it on a Sons of Selvedge website, have our videos on there so people who like discover Size Up can find our videos, and people who find our videos in like in Google search will learn about Size Up. And I want to offer it like free for a while until it gets really good. Then maybe like, I don't know, eventually charge people like $2 a month or something to keep your wardrobe Um, and also maybe at some point it turns into like a marketplace, a bit like a market website where you can like sell and trade the stuff that you put in your wardrobe.
Nice, man.
Very good work, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. There's
Hey, David.
a platform called. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Finish your thought.
There's a platform called Replit, which is like they're like at the forefront of using AI to build things, and it's everything from like I've got my idea, I can sketch out my idea, it can do mock-ups, it can build your idea, it can test it, it can launch it. So it's kind of like everything from start to finish without you needing to know how to code. So it's really cool what you can do on that platform.
Cool. I was just gonna piggyback on what Kevin was saying before. So if the website is giving you, like it said there, the 42L, right? But let's say throughout the whole of the internet, there's only another website that provides measurements, but they're slightly different because whoever works there measured it in a different way. Which one does it decide to give you?
Yeah, so I haven't built that out yet, but the way I probably would do it is to say like, if you use the size chart on Blue Owl, like we just did here, and you've got high confidence that like the size chart is clear and you can make a good recommendation, maybe it's fine just to use that. But if you've got like medium confidence, maybe you should go out to the internet and find other people selling the same thing, pull in their information to help you arrive at that final decision. Because if you always go out to all the websites, it's going to be way slower, right? Than if you just
100%.
kind of go. But it's a good like fallback if you're really unsure, like go get some more information, or even ask the customer, hey, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking because you know that you go at some websites where they measure the sleeve, from the shoulder to the edge, or some go from the from the armpit to the edge.
Yeah.
So those are two completely different measurements, and then I was just wondering which one is AI going to suggest, even though you're not used to measuring the same way that it'll probably give you.
Yeah, it's a good question, and like I try to kind of navigate that a bit on the waist topic in particular. I'm like, get the one waist measurement where you lay the garment naturally and flat, and like the front and back of the waistband probably aren't touching. But then also do the second version where you pull the front so it overlaps the back and you get more of like a true circumference measurement. And like, if the customer provides you both, great, use both. But like, if they don't, know which one you're using and try and determine that from the website. But one thing I probably also have to build out is this idea of like, you may need to go look at their how we measure page to know what system each company is using. But yeah, I think the key thing first is like, are people even interested in building out this digital wardrobe? Like, is it helpful? Is it fun to like have your stuff in one place? And also like for people like me or the denim dentist, Jeff, who have like existing spreadsheets, I also want to make it where you just like upload the whole thing. Should you have it, so you don't have to like go and like retype in all the details.
Yeah.
And also it does work too, just based on like body measurements and like a Patagonia product page, right? So you'd be like, hey, I want to buy this Patagonia hoodie. These dimensions. Oh, okay, cool. You probably need the large in the hoodie, right? Like you don't need the nuance information for a lot of products.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this would have been very helpful with my shoe purchase recently. I was struggling with that a little bit, and it's exactly this sort of point that I was trying to get to, and that Ricky was talking about as well. Because I tried them on at in a store here in Copenhagen, and the smallest size they had was a Japanese 26, and it was slightly too big, so I needed 25.5. But then all of the measurements on all of the online retailers I could find were all different. Like they were in centimeters, but then they were saying like, oh, it was just very confusing to find the right size. Because in one website I was like, oh, I should order this one, but then I looked at another one, I was like, maybe I should order this one, but is this the Japanese centimeters they're giving me, or is this what they have measured? So it was a bit confusing. So something like this would have been super helpful, I think.
It's interesting. So I also see that with Moonstar, where like people are like, oh, Moonstars run half a size big, like you got to size down. But then other sites are like, no, Moonstars are true to size. If you're in the middle, you have to size up. And it's like also conflicting information whether Shoes Like Pottery uses the same lasts as Moonstar or whether they're different
They
lasts,
don't.
even though it's the same brand.
They don't. Yeah. So the Moonstars run bigger than Shoes Like Pottery, which is like weird, even though they're the same brand.
Confusing.
Yeah. That information is like so hard to get, and it's like
And that's the thing.
having
Yeah.
that source of truth.
So my question would be, because sorry, Ricky.
Sorry, I was just asking if they were made the same last.
If they're made what?
On the same last?
No.
Sounds like Illya saying no.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're different. It feels different because I've had both, and the Moonstar do run bigger. They feel wider. They feel more spacious. So yeah, it's a different experience, I would say, even though the build quality is very much the same and they look, similar in terms of even the brand Doic, who's made by Moonstar. They fit different to Shoes Like Pottery, which also fits different to the Moonstars. So between those, they have different lasts, I think. Yeah, and the sizing is slightly, different.
But that would explain why those Arpenteur Moonstars are too big, because I bought the same size as my Shoes Like Potteries, which fit fine. And they're like way more voluminous, so it's like they're like flopping around my foot, whereas like the same size and Shoes Like Pottery, they fit fine.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but my question was, because there are services like Size Up out there, where you go on the website and they kind of have like a built-in plugin where you put your measurements in, and then based on other people's recommendations, they kind of give you a, estimated size on what they think, what you'll be. How do you see this differing from those kind of services?
Yeah, totally. And I use those a lot, right? Like Arc'teryx, Nike, any of these kind of like mainstream kind of e-commerce sites, they have that, like, I think it's called TrueFit is the like the kind of common plugin. And the problem I have with those is like, it's like, oh, what's your favorite brand that you wear that fits you well today? And I look at the sneakers, I'm like, well, I do own some Vans, and 11.5 in a Vans usually fits okay, but like Vans isn't going to help me necessarily buy a pair of Lofgren boots, right? Or like,
well,
similarly,
I guess will it, if there's enough people who register themselves as having a pair of Vans and a pair of Lofgrens, is that what's going to help in the long term?
I think maybe. I mean, I haven't really thought much about kind of like crowdsourcing or like taking the data at scale. I mean, if first and foremost, I'm just trying to figure out like how to make it helpful. But what I'm thinking about is like, at least in our heritage space, all of these sites have size charts and we like measure stuff, right? So like there's a different experience for us that isn't the same as like, I just need to buy a Patagonia top, right? It's like I'm a large in Patagonia, easy. I do that true fit once and I'm kind of done. But it's like, well, actually, this is also why I think relevant. Within a shoe company, they use different lasts that size different. So like the M43 from Lofgren runs different than the Wabash boots. Even within like a brand, it's not apples to apples. Or like with denim, and we all know, right? Like within a shirt run, the same shirt in two different fabrics fit a bit different. You're like, oh, this one came up an inch shorter. This one's an inch wider in the shoulder. So the idea is to kind of like try and solve this problem for the customer who needs more nuance. And like more is like detail oriented, which maybe that customer's teeny tiny and it doesn't exist, but I'm kind of like just trying to play around and see, could people benefit from this? And I think the marketplace slant of like eventually enabling buy, sell, trade type experiences would be super cool. Cause it's like, you're putting your wardrobe on there. And then like, if I want to like buy something off of Andy, I can like just go like, yo, dude, like you want to trade this for that? And like it kind of facilitates a bit of like a niche marketplace, kind of a bit like trying to play on what market's doing a bit. But yeah, at this point, I'm just kind of learning, seeing what AI can do, building technology, which is like half the fun, and then also learning to see like if there's a product that people would use or not. And of course, for anyone who's listening, like please ping me. You're welcome to use it and play around with it. It's free at the moment while I build it out. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And then if there's like other cool features that make it more useful for heritage customers, I would want to know, because like, oh, like I know Patina Project is out there, but like that's simply for like tracking the evolution of your garments and that's it. Right. So it's like, here's my boots on day one. Here's my boots at 1 year. So it's kind of a different use case. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I guess that's kind of it for me. One other thing I'll quickly mention is I'm off to Asia in a couple weeks with my dad for a big adventure. And at the end of that trip, we're going to Japan. So I've been trying to kind of like optimize the days I have in Japan. And I've realized that Popeye magazine came out with a issue called Hello Tokyo. That's like a one-off English issue where it's like all of Popeye's top recommendations for Tokyo. And then Brutus also came out with an English issue called Tokyo Perspective and Kyoto Perspective, which are each like one-off magazines on like their favorite places from the Brutus editors in Tokyo and Kyoto. So if anyone's going to Asia this year, or to Japan this year, make sure to check out those magazines.
Very cool.
How long are you going for? How long will you be in Japan? Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be in like Singapore for 3 days. Then we get on a cruise ship that basically works its way from Singapore up to Japan over like 3 weeks roughly. And I've got like 4 or 5 additional days in Tokyo at the end. It's like me and my dad.
Nice.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Is your dad a denim head as well? You'd be dragging denim.
No.
He will be at the end of this trip.
By the time we get to Tokyo, I think he'll be like, get the F out of here, go do your thing. I'll go do my things. It's like, sweet, I'm going to Brass. I'm going to Speedway Sendai. And but one thing I will say about my dad is he wore raw denim back in the 70s. And he used to say that like to break them in, they would put them in the driveway and then drive back and forth over them with their muscle cars to get the tires to like break in the denim.
Nice. Tire fades.
Which shops are you looking forward to go into, David, in Tokyo?
I'd love to get a pair of Clench engineers if possible. Like I'm hoping they're a lot more affordable there. So like that's kind of number 1 on my list. Number 2 on my list is Hinoya, because I'd really like to get a Buzz Rickson M51 fishtail in black with like the hood and everything parka. Although you don't really need that in Texas, but it would still be cool. And I think third, like I'm kind of keeping an eye out for a pair of those Lofgren Cordovan combat boots. Maybe like Free Note when I'm down in LA or maybe in Japan. But I'm also not working at the moment, so I have to like kind of plan a bit ahead of time, like what I actually can let myself spend versus not. So maybe I buy nothing, but those are just kind of like my short list. Should I happen to find them?
Yeah. Well, if you're in town and you've got the option to go into Brass, then that's one that's not easy to get your hands on. So
yeah. And also like I saw Standard and Strange's recent drop of the like olive green horse butt clinches were like 2,200 US. So like they're like from like, because of tariffs and all that kind of stuff, they're getting really expensive. So I'm hoping in Japan that they might have inventory and it might be at a fair price of the black, not the green.
Yeah.
And maybe on that note, for your pair, which last do you have? Narrow, standard, or wide?
I've got the CN wide.
Wide, okay. And are you happy with the fit on those?
Yeah. Yeah, especially because I've got the 10 in the brown and 9.5 in the black, and both are like weirdly enough comfortable to wear, but the 10 are more comfortable because they have just a little bit more room for my foot to to have that kind of space to move about, and I prefer that.
And their sizing's super weird, right? Where like their number size is like one bigger than the US size or something like that. So like a
I think
cleanse
so,
12
yeah.
is like a
Yeah,
US 11 or something. Yeah.
yeah. There's like you have to do like maths depending on like if you're this and that and you're this and that, then yeah, then you equal a size 10 in brass.
We'll see what happens. Probably come
So
back with
yeah,
nothing, but
again, it's
fingers
like
crossed, maybe.
yeah.
Cool. And I guess back to you, Andy. Did you remember what you want to talk about?
Yeah, I was trying to remember. When we did the chat with Wyatt, did I mention the Traveller event? If I did, then we'll just skip it. I mean, it's something that really Tom should be here for it. I know Illya can just switch off because it's nerd speak.
Is that the thing that was in Southeast
The one in
London last
Salford.
week?
It was in Salford, back in earlier this month.
No, because when we talked to Wyatt, it was like
Okay.
just a straight up interview. Remember? Like it was like
Yeah,
just focused on Grandstone.
Okay, so kind of late Feb, early March. I went up to Manchester for a weekend to play a thing called The Traveller. So a friend of mine, Sam, who is on Instagram as Cupboard of Shame, has created this tabletop narrative called the Traveller, and it's this he's like a conquistador style character who's trying to find stuff, and he's just kind of gone through space and time, and then you bring in your characters and they kind of get looped into the narrative. And he's kind of done a number of events around the UK, and people like pop in and play stuff and drop out, and then it's gonna potentially lead to something at some point. But he did this event, and it was really well. It was like 25 of us turned up. Couple of dude from the States came over, a guy from Germany, people from all over the UK came, and it was this really fun, well organized, just kind of free flowing event where no one was a stickler on rules like, oh, you rolled a 4, that doesn't count, you've lost. The people who run it were just like, well, let's just make it fun for everyone and kind of make it a story so it's more cinematic. And so we had all these different tables going on, and we did it all at Salford Lads Club, which is people will know it's famous because of some photos the Smiths took as part of an album promo shot, and so it's become like this mecca for Smiths and Morrissey fans, despite the band never using it as a practice room and never playing there. But it's this kind of very cool location which has been around for 100 or so years. It was designed to kind of keep kids occupied and busy and give them focus and discipline through sport, and it's now an event hall, so you can hire it for what we did. People can have weddings there. They're looking at maybe having live music there. It's all owned by the original family that started it, and so the money that we all put in towards it all went towards it was their charity that runs the event, and that was awesome. And we had like custom T-shirts made and stuff, and it was really good fun. It was bizarre, just like the kind of the different types of people who were there. So we had like what you'd expect, like maybe your traditional tabletop or wargaming fan to be, but then like we had dudes who like on my table. We had guys from hardcore and hardcore adjacent bands playing. Two well respected tattoo artists were there doing playing. Like one guy was doing like little art pieces that he was selling, for people. And it was good fun. We had like Hard to Be a God was playing on in the background with no sound to kind of give us that theme. Someone had made music like kind of background music for the event, so that was playing in the off to one side. And then at the end, he made this massive table which was like the guts of a spaceship, and we all just went in there, and everyone just got wiped across the floor. He made it as hard as possible, but it was a lot of fun. Like, people really put their effort into making the little pieces. It was literally everyone just saw it as an art project. So, we're only making, 2 or 3 little figures. So people were just going to town on making like stuff from the ground up. One dude made a walking ship. It didn't actually walk, but it looked like a proper ship, and he'd done like the kind of the insides, and he gave it these legs, and it looked like it had like a garden growing out the back of it. And yeah, it was just this really kind of fun get together of people who may not have met each other or kind of know each other online, and all of this kind of same flourish in that kind of space. And and there is a bit of crossover. Some of the guys in there are into kind of their menswear and their heritage wear and stuff as well, because as much as Illya doesn't like to admit it, we're all nerds. And
oh no, I'll admit I'm a nerd.
And kind of it all, those kind of spaces where people can get really obsessed about things. So like we can get obsessed about the Magneto, the fabric we're wearing and the cut of the jean. It ties in with people who are into the war game, because they're so focused on again, the Magneto of, if be it rules or kind of the model design or stuff like that. And then off to one side, then there's all the guys who are into kind of quite technical music. They get into it as well, because there's that kind of extremely nerdiness about that as well. So yeah, it was this really, really fun event. People have already posted stuff up online about it and taken loads of photos, and there's blogs galore about it. And the guy who runs it, Sam, is an absolute gem of a bloke. And I hope he does more. And if he does any that are kind of closer to home, then I'll be turning up. And one of my other mates, one of the other lads who's there, is doing another similar event. I can't go because it's during the working week, but he's hired it's like a Norman keep near us. He just rented it for the day, and so people are coming from all over the place to play a similar event there. And
that's a French castle, right? Norman people keep.
Yeah. In kind of in Essex, there's this place. It's Hedingham, and there's been similar events where some dudes rented a church and did something, and had like one guy was playing a cello in the background and stuff. So yeah, it's really cool, really fun. Yeah, Illya, don't worry now. That's as much as I've got to say about that.
If someone wants to look into this, what should they Google to learn more about it?
So that one, literally just go on Instagram and look for Cupboard of Shame. Also
Cupboard of Shame.
Cupboard of Shame, yeah. Also, the Traveller 28 is the event that he's been running, and then we were using some stripped down rules for that he has. He'll give you links to, and he has it on his. I think he's got his own website that he posts stuff up. And the other one that my friend's doing at the castle soon, that's for a game called Necropolis, which is more kind of fantasy themed. Cool. But yeah, there's they're the ones. Definitely have a look at Cupboard of Shame, and Sam's stuff is great.
Awesome. Illya, anything you else want to chat about?
What else do I want to chat about? I could talk about the pickup from yesterday. That me and Ricky went down to hang up down Burnham and Crouch. I managed to pick up a suede 1950 suede jacket by a British brand called Ad Astra. Which I had a little Google search this morning around, and it was an aviation company, and it has links with Australia as well. So they were producing quite a lot of different kinds of leather jackets and neckties and things like that. And the name actually ad astra in Latin is translates to the stars, which was quite interesting. But yeah, this piece was in such a good nick and perfect in terms of size as well for me, which is always a little bit tricky in the vintage world. But funnily enough, I bought it, walked it out of the shop, and we sat down with a couple of the guys to have a beer, and within I think 10 minutes I had like bird shit on my sleeve. So I was like, okay, let me go and get this cleaned up. But yeah, good luck on it.
Classic.
But yeah, it's like out of all the jackets that you're gonna get bird shit on, it's like a suede jacket is not the one.
Bird shit from space.
exactly.
Yeah.
Bird shit from the stars. Yeah. But what I really liked about it was that it had a really kind of an A2 style design, but with a fit which felt a little bit more kind of sporty, more dressy. That kind of felt like you could really style it both kind of more kind of in the heritage sense, but also in the smart way. I could easily, I think Drake's does like a similar version of a suede jacket, which it feels very contemporary. So yeah, it kind of just felt like it was like a really nice, timeless piece, which kind of is of that time, but you could easily wear it in different contexts. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I've been noticing your social content just keeps getting better and better in terms of like visual presentation and fits and stuff.
Thank you.
It's cool to see the kind of continued evolution of that.
Yeah, I'm still having fun with it. I mean, the algorithm's just like doing kind of weird stuff at the moment, and it's all over the place. And but for me, my intention was never to set out to when I started my page to get big or to do this or to do that. It was always a way to keep a style diary, and whatever happens on there, that's kind of still always going to be the goal for me. So yeah, I'm trying to. For me, it's like keep a diary of it, document it, and see how much fun I can have with it. See where I can take it. Experiment with the bits that I pick up here and there. And yeah, that's kind of always been the goal of it.
Lex, anything you want to add?
So one quick thing to mention, which is quite cool, which I kind of forgot about, and I don't think we've mentioned it yet, was a couple of months ago at LCF, we had Shinichi Hakari from Ironheart. So the founder of Ironheart came in to talk to our students. And they're basically doing a competition with my MA pattern cutting students and the MA women's wear and MA menswear courses, where the students are basically designing a capsule collection for them, with the possibility of winning an internship at Ironheart. So it's a really cool opportunity for.
That's very cool.
All my students who aren't really denim heads, and most of them wouldn't have heard of Ironheart. And I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing, guys! You must enter. So I mean, I'm hoping I got them excited about it, and I was like, it's a really cool brand. They've got really beautiful, well-made, considered clothing. And my students have all worked with denim. I've made sure to I've got them saying denim at some point. So I'm hoping to see some exciting work. So once that's happened, I'll kind of let you guys know what happens with it, and when any of them kind of like get their shit together and actually kind of enter it. It was a really cool thing. We had some of the team come from is it Gosport? South Coast anyway.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the names. The guy who runs the Hackney showroom as well came across, because that's not too far from us. So
is it Alex?
Yeah, it's really cool. So really exciting opportunity. So fingers crossed one of my students gets a chance to work at Ironheart. and I think they might be producing some of the garments as well. So, yeah.
And
That's cool. Is it a UK or Japan internship?
That was going to be my question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Japan, but I'll be honest, I have no idea how the logistics of that would work out. But the majority of my students are from China anyway, so obviously it's not too far from Japan. It's not quite as far for them if they were to do an internship after graduating. It's not quite as far as flying from Europe all the way to Japan.
Man, that's super cool. I'm jealous. It'd be fun.
Yeah,
I'm jealous of them because I can't enter it myself. So.
You're gonna have to create a pseudonym and enter as a different person. Yeah.
You got to go over as like the instructor, to usher your students into their internship and stuff.
Well, anyway, fingers crossed. I'll let you guys know what happens with that. But yeah, one more thing I thought that was worth mentioning.
That's pretty cool.
Definitely.
I saw the new Super Mario Galaxy movie the other night, and
I saw it too.
the graphics are such that like Mario and Luigi's like denim overalls look legit real. You can like even see like the warp and weft threads and like their shirts. You can see like the top stitching and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, like what the level of detail they went into in their little outfits.
It's amazing, but for me, it was just like the overwhelming sense of color throughout the whole movie. It was just so intense.
Yeah, you're like, oh, sensory overload.
It's just a lot of color. I was like, what is going on? It's just like very bright pinks and very bright greens and blues. It's just like constantly just in your face, like at every single moment of the movie. I'm like, wow, the kids are like, I can imagine, like kids like high on popcorn and other candy, and then just like just getting that constantly. It was, but it's like a fun movie.
That'd make my face melt probably if I was like on drugs watching that.
It's crazy, especially the scene in the cube thing. Sorry.
Oh yeah. With all the walls.
Yeah.
I was going to ask a hypothetical question. If Luigi and Mario were buying their dungarees, which brand would they be buying it from?
Big John.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know why. Big John is the one that brand that sits out to me.
It would have to be
I'd have to say Carhartt, right? I'd have to say Carhartt because they would have been in Brooklyn, and like Carhartt would have been the most not Carhartt WIP, but like the legit Carhartt.
Yeah, the original. Yeah.
Or maybe like Dickies if Dickies made denim overalls.
Yeah.
Or Ben Sherman. Ben Sherman would be the third one. One of those three.
Not Ben Sherman.
Ben Sherman overalls.
No, you're thinking
of
Ben Davis.
Ben Davis.
Yeah.
Ben Davis. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
What about Oshkosh Bagosh as well?
Oshkosh, that's a good shout. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But they folded quite some time ago, right? Oshkosh.
Yeah, but Luigi's like when was the first Mario game made?
GTs?
40 years ago, right? So 85.
Yeah.
My daughter's still running around in Oshkosh, so
awesome. You should get her like because they have those like oversized kids Mario and Luigi hats and like a matching shirt. And just have her dress up like baby Mario, baby Luigi. Gender norms don't matter, right? So like she could totally be a baby Mario.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to go back and rewatch the 80s movie, or not 80s. Was it late 80s, early 90s?
The 90s, the mid 90s one with Bob Hoskins and Luigi, John Leguizamo. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
We tried that on Nate, and oh mate, it's got nothing. It's got very little to do with Mario.
Yeah. I know there's a couple throwbacks to that in the recent movie. I don't know, Ricky, if you caught it, but there's a scene where they're in kind of a cyberpunky Blade Runner-y type setting, and that's supposed to be an allusion to the 90s Mario movie.
Okay. Yes, I don't think I watched the 90s Mario movie for some reason. I'll have to,
Like, when
I'll
they're
have to look.
chasing the monkey, I won't say more than that, but when they're chasing the monkey, like, apparently part of that is like a throwback to the 90s movie.
Oh, okay.
It's an experience, mate. That's it's an experience.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird movie.
Oh, I'm just looking it up right now. I'm pretty sure.
It was like a commercial failure and a critical failure. And
Is this 1993 Super Mario Bros? This does not look like Mario Bros.
Dennis Hopper as King Koopa or Bowser or whatever. And the only way you can tell is that he's got like gelled hair that's meant to look like scales on his head.
I mean, it's cool that they were creative and like did that interpretation, but yeah, it's definitely like kind of bizarre.
Oh, this is funny.
But I'm still playing Mario Wonder again. Oh man, that game's so good. It's like such a fun game.
It has a 4.2 rating on IMDb. Jeez.
That's pretty good, actually.
That's surprisingly high. Yeah.
That's out of 67,000.
Oh right, I thought it was out of a score of 67,000 then.
Probably, yeah, probably more accurate.
It's probably like just the like Mario grognard fans, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. Pushing it up.
When that Zelda movie comes out, though, that's going to be the jam. I can't wait for that.
Are they making it?
Oh yeah. So it's going to be live action with a heavy amount of CG kind of interwoven. So the director is the guy who did the Maze Runner series, and then also more recently the recent Planet of the Apes movies.
Okay.
So it's going to be like that kind of like gritty, realistic, but also CG supported thing. And then like they've shown who's been cast as Princess Zelda and Link, and they're like maybe kids in their like late teens kind of thing, like 17, 18. So it's going to like kind of tells you a bit about the point in their life it's going to take place in. And yeah, I think the release date's supposed to be this year, but I haven't heard a lot about it, so I wouldn't be surprised if it got pushed back to next year.
Okay.
And like Miyamoto and like all of the like Zelda team or Nintendo and like Zelda team are like super hands-on in the production. So it's like, it's going to be like Mario where it's sort of, they're really articulating what the movie should be, but live action.
It's down as May next year.
7th
of May 2027, yeah. So I'm on IMDb looking at upcoming video game adaptations.
That's one movie where I will be there like midnight showing first thing, like wearing my little Link elf suit and stuff, which I need to start sewing if I'm going to actually have that. maybe that's my next project is a raw denim Link suit. Indigo tights
with
and everything.
The sword.
With the sword. Yeah, like a denim sword. I could just like buy a plastic Link sword and just like cover it with blue fabric. That'd be pretty funny.
You can borrow Dante's one. He made one.
Oh no shit! That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, his sword. He made a sword, right?
Well, he made the shield and the sword, and he covered the shield with denim.
Oh man, Dante's already done it. Cool.
Yeah,
I would just be knocking off his idea at this point.
He'll let you borrow it if he's not using it himself.
Yeah, I was stoked to see him become a Zelda fan.
He's actually going. He's going to watch the Mario movie tomorrow with his friends.
Oh, that's so awesome. I mean, the plot was a little bit lacking, but it was just so much fun. I didn't really care.
Yeah. The first one was really good. I really liked the first one.
First had a better story.
Yeah, we watched the first one.
On topic, I just realized because I just kept on going. Like, apologies for any to the gaming community, but I just realized, found out that there was a Dungeons and Dragons movie in 2023.
Oh, mate, it's great.
It was good. It was
Great.
actually a good movie.
That's
Really
what I'm reading
cool.
right now. It was like 7.2. I'm like,
Yeah,
yo.
It's very good.
They really lean into kind of making it lighthearted, and
I like
but
that the answers came straight from David and Andy right away.
Yeah, everyone else quiet.
so it's one of those things you don't really need to know much about Dungeons and Dragons. You can just
No, that's
enjoy it as
fine.
this kind of like silly adventure, though. Like it's people pointed out, it's got like they cleverly hide elements from the game in there that you wouldn't notice, like little things about like when they fight. It's literally done turn-based, so everyone has their go, and then the villain comes back, and they do like little things like that that you wouldn't you wouldn't notice unless someone pointed it out. But it's a great film.
Good fan service.
Yeah, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. But Bradley Cooper as a gnome or something like that is a great cameo.
Okay. Yeah. Chris Pine as main actor,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, Chris Pine's the lead with Michelle Rodriguez.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah. Hugh Grant's in it. He's great in it. Just being
I gotta
like
watch.
typical late era Hugh Grant, just having a laugh, just
Okay.
hamming it up.
Speaking of good movies, Project Hail Mary.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Very faithful to the book. A lot of fun.
That's a Gosling one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And then a trailer I saw for something coming out looked really good. What was that trailer?
Naughty Nurses 9.
Odyssey?
Man, it's the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember what it was now. Oh, that looks rad too. Yeah, Christopher Nolan Odyssey. Yeah, whatever this movie was, I was like, oh, I'm gonna totally book a ticket to that and go see it. Cause I don't really go to the movies often, but this one, whatever it was like, yeah, I gotta go see that. Now I've totally forgot what it was, which means it wasn't that exciting. Oh, Mandalorian and Grogu. That actually looks really good.
Okay.
Apparently, they're really trying to lean in on the kind of like old school Star Wars vibes.
Yeah, we're on a bit of a Star Wars bent at home at the moment. Nate has discovered it and he is obsessed.
Better than Star Trek.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's obsessed with the
Goodbye.
prequel trilogy.
Bye.
Oh.
See you guys.
Yeah, you've heard him.
Shots fired or tasers fired.
I'll be honest, I've never watched a single movie of Star Wars ever. Come at me. Come at me. Come on.
Yeah, can merely be
There goes Illya.
disappointed. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Disappointed, you're sad. Aw.
Yeah.
Dude, never watched it. For some reason, it just literally, even growing up in the States and stuff, it just didn't hit me. Star Trek, on the other hand, I was big on that. Next Generation, though, which is very unpopular amongst Star Trek fans who tend to like the original series. But I really like Captain Picard.
Well, speaking of science fiction stuff, the new series from the guys who wrote The Expanse, James S.A. Corey, book 2 of their Mercy of Gods series comes out like in a week. Or Captain's War trilogy is a light trilogy of these books. It's kind of like humanity's got alien invaders and humanity gets enslaved, yada yada. Really, really good series. And I mean, they wrote The Expanse, like how good it's going to be. But with aliens and stuff, so that's about to come out.
I'm actually reading The Expanse now. Book 3 I'm at now. Yeah, book 3. It's a bit hard reading with a little kid, but I'm getting through it slowly.
Sounds like we have a Kafka cameo.
Yep.
Kafka on the show.
We just had someone knock at the door, so he's a little bit wired up. Yeah, he's yeah.
Oh, cool. He looks fun.
I'm gonna drop soon, guys, because it's midnight here almost.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I need to drop off
Awesome.
at 5:30. So
Yeah, so I'll wrap up the recording here. So thanks everybody for listening to our 50th episode. Hope you enjoyed get an update from all of the founders. Please like and subscribe to our content, and hit me up if you want to try out Size Up. Would love to get some feedback on it. And thanks for tuning in.